Says URK 19 CS 1093. Exercise number 1. Use of control statements in Python. Question 1. Read 3 numbers and display the biggest number. Program. First, we have to input 3 numbers, integer numbers, that is A, B, C. And then using if condition, we have to check first whether A is greater than B and C. And then if A is greater, we have to print biggest number is A. And second one, if we have to check whether B is greater than A and C, then if B is greater, we have to print the biggest number is B. Likewise, C also we have to check with A and B, and then if C is bigger, we have to print the biggest number is C. Now let's see the output. Here the 3 numbers which were given as 8, 9, 6, and among them biggest number is 9. Second question, given an integer n, perform the following conditional actions. If n is odd, print weird. If n is even and in between 3 to 7, print not weird. If n is even and in between 8 to 22, print weird. If n is even and greater than 22, print not weird. Here, first we have to input an integer number from the user. And by using if condition, we have to check whether that number modulus 2 is not equal to 0, so that it is an odd number. And if it is an odd number, we have to print weird. Or else we have to like if else condition inside that if n is greater than or equal to 3 and if n is less than or equal to 7, that condition if it is true, then we have to print not weird. Or else then we have to go for n greater than or equal to 8 and n less than or equal to 22. If that condition is true, then we have to print weird. If it is false, then it will print not weird. See the output. 22. Weird. Third question. Generate the multiplication table for the given number as shown in the sample output. Input a number first whose multiplication table we want, and then second we have to input another number for like to get the get till what the multiplication table we need. Then using for loop, i's range will take it from 1 to b plus 1, and then inside the for loop we'll put multiply I and the number whose multiplication table we want, and then store it into a variable called prod. And then we'll print inside the for loop itself, we'll print I into a equal to product, and then we'll get the output as want 5's multiplication table, and 5 till 10 we'll get it like this. Fourth question, write a program that computes an investment report. The inputs to this program are the following: an initial amount to be invested, a floating point number, a period of years as an integer, an interest rate, a percentage expressed as an integer. See the program. Now we have to input 3 numbers for investment amount, number of years, and for rate. Then we have to store the investment amount into a new variable for later use. Then we have to print year, starting balance, interest, and ending balance as headings using format char. Then using for loop, we have to take i's values from 1 to y plus 1. That y plus 1, that is the year. Then we have to calculate A into R by 100 and store it into T, which is the interest. Then we have to print I, A, that is the investment amount, then T, the interest, and A plus T, the ending balance. Then we have to calculate A plus is equal to T for the next to use it as the next principal amount, and then S is equal to A minus B we have to calculate for first year's interest to get the first year's interest. Then we have to print the ending balance and total interest earned. Let's see the output. So the invest amount is 5,000. Year is 3 and rate is 5. So here uh, first year, the starting balance as the investment amount is 5,000, and then interest from this equation t is equal to a into r by 100, we'll get the interest, and then ending balance we'll get it from a plus t, that is the interest plus investment amount. Then we'll use the ending balance as the next year second year starting balance, and then interest a using we'll get interest using S is equal to A minus B, and then ending balance and total interest earned is calculated. Fifth question. The greatest common divisor of two positive integers A and B is the largest number that can be evenly divided into both of them. Euclid's algorithm can be used to find the greatest common divisor of two positive integers. You can use this algorithm in the following manner. Compute the remainder of dividing the larger number by the smaller number. Replace the larger number with the smaller number and the smaller number with the remainder. Repeat this process until the smaller number is 0. The larger number at this point is the GCD of A and B. Write a program that lets the user enter two integers and then print each step in the process of using the Euclidean algorithm to find their GCD. The program, first we have to input two numbers from the user, then we have to initialize I equal to 1. Using if condition, we have to check whether A is greater than B. If it is true, we have to store A into a variable called T1 and B into a variable called T2. If A is not greater than B, if it is false, then else we have to store B into T1 and A into T2. Then we have to print the greater value T1 and then smaller value T2. Then using while condition, we have to check whether T2 is not equal to 0. And if it is true, then we have to find the remainder, that is by calculating T1 modulus T2 and store it into T1. Then we have to store T2's value into T1, and then we have to store T, that is the remainder, to T2. Then we have to print UI. Then we have to print the greatest value T1. Then we have to increment I and then print the greatest common divisor T1. And the output is so numbers are 12 and 24. So here the greater value is 24 and smaller value is 12. And in the first loop, the greatest value which we get is 12, and that is why GCD is 12.